this is Sydney. I hope you are all doing well. Today I am going to be filming a first impression of these new foundations I got recently. This is the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear foundation, which is going crazy. Everyone is raving about it, so I really wanted to give it a try. So I got it from Space NK the other day, and this is the Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Weightless Foundation. And the reason why I wanted to compare these two at the same time is because both of them actually contain the word longwear, so they claim to be long wearing on the skin. I know the foundations with the word longwear doesn't really suit my skin type, so I wanted to give it a go. The shade I'll be using is Mont Blanc Light 2, and for the Bobbi Brown one I have it in the shade Warm Porcelain 0.5. My skin at the moment isn't great, but then again that will show you guys how well the foundation covers the red spots on my skin. So I will apply these foundations on my face now using 2 flat foundation brushes and 2 clean but damp makeup sponges. And I think I'm going to start off with the NARS one on this side of my face. I've been dying to try this one out because I've seen so many good reviews about it, and I will apply that using this Zoeva Face Curve 112 brush. I'll actually zoom you guys in. I don't have the best skin now. So that's the Bobbi Brown one, and that's the NARS one. And the NARS one seems slightly darker and on the pinkier side, and Bobbi Brown one is obviously lighter and it's more yellowy. And it seems like the Bobbi Brown one is slightly more runny than the NARS one. This one seems more like a serum. So I'll take the NARS one first on this side of my face. I actually have redness here, and I also do have some redness around here, so you guys will be able to see how the foundation actually covers those areas. I've heard that the NARS one has like a really good coverage and you really don't need a lot on your face, so I'm just gonna take a small amount first and go over that spot. Wow, that covered really well actually. It took a while for me to get my hands on the NARS foundation because I was actually gonna just order it online, but they've actually come up with so many different shades and I couldn't decide which shade I really should go for. And I actually got it matched from the Space NK counter. I was initially torn between Deauville and Gobi, I think. But Gobi was a bit too pale for my skin tone, and Deauville was a bit too yellow, and I knew that the shade in Mont Blanc will be a good match on my skin. So I tested on my bare skin along with Deauville and Gobi, and it looked like the best match for my skin. So that's why I got it in the shade Mont Blanc. So that's one layer on my skin, and I think I'm gonna go over once again with a sponge. I will take this beauty blender and kind of go over once again on any areas that I need a bit more coverage, like my scars and my freckles. Wow, that's a lot of coverage. It actually covers even better with a sponge, obviously, because brushes give you more sort of sheer coverage, sheer and natural coverage. I can tell that there's a lot of pigment in the foundation, so you actually really don't need a lot. So that's the NARS foundation on, and you can definitely see the difference. I was actually gonna use a concealer on that red spot, but I don't really think I need a concealer. I will just apply once again using my ring finger. So that's the foundation on, and I will move on to this side with the Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Weightless Foundation. And then I'll take that on Innisfree My Foundation Brush Glow. I actually got this foundation from their launching event after participating in the games they had in the event, and the person who was working there actually matched me to this color. Right off the bat I can tell that it doesn't have as much coverage as the NARS one. I think you guys will be able to tell as I'm applying this on my skin, and you definitely need 2 pumps, I think. With the NARS one, I think 2 pump was a bit too much because it's so pigmented, but with the Bobbi Brown one, you definitely, I definitely need another pump. I was worried with both of these foundations that they might be too drying on my skin, but they're not. So that's one layer of the Bobbi Brown foundation with a brush. And once again, I will go in with a damp sponge. And this is Espo's sponge. So that's the NARS side and that's the Bobbi Brown side. I feel like the NARS one definitely has more coverage, and the Bobbi Brown one has more radiance. And I think because the foundation actually contains the word skin, it looks more like sheer and more like my skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup and be right back. Alright, so that's the makeup done. Now it doesn't feel like too tacky or too drying on my skin. I think the Bobbi Brown side feels slightly more tacky, but they don't feel overly sticky or drying on my skin, which is good. The time now is 10:51 and I want to check back after a few hours to show you guys how the foundation is looking on my skin. So far so good. I am pleased with both of the foundations. I was a bit too worried that they might be a bit too drying on my skin, but I think they're looking fine. So I'm gonna go and carry on with my day and be right back to show you guys how it's looking on my skin. So I'm back, I've eaten, I drank coffee, I was editing, I went out to the post office and it's around 4 hours later. Let's see, obviously my lip color is gone. I think I'm just gonna reapply it because it's gonna bother me when I edit my video. I'll apply the same lip color. On the Bobbi Brown side, some of the spots are kind of showing through, and on the NARS side, I can see some dryness around the dry patch I had, which is kind of natural. So I think still, like, both of them look really nice, but I can see some spots showing through on this side. I remember this side being a lot more natural and less coverage, but on the NARS side, it still has a lot of coverage. It's still looking good, but then again, I see some dryness around my nose. Overall, I am impressed with both of the foundations. I think it's because I was so concerned that they might look overly drying on my very dry skin. If you like more sort of natural looking, more sort of your skin kind of foundation, I would recommend the Bobbi Brown foundation. Or if you're like me who likes a bit more coverage, I think the NARS foundation is really good. I think mixing these two would be great as well. So that's it. I hope this video was helpful for any of you guys who were wondering about these products. I am actually really impressed by both of them, which is good. So yeah, let me know if you guys have tried any of these foundations or if you are planning to buy any of these foundations. I would love to know. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys again in my next one.